So this came as a screener, so I'll show the original copy, or my copy that I've got here, Reservoir Dogs. So I watched the 4K disc over the weekend, wrote it today, got it posted early access today. So if you're a top tier patron, you can read that already. Don't need to talk about the film. Everyone knows the film, don't they? Quentin Tarantino's first and probably best film.
I'm familiar with it. Thank you, Simon.
Yes, most people are familiar with it. Kind of shot Hollywood in the arm, or was it in the buttocks? And it was great. It cast his net far from wide. City on Fire, of course. That's what it's based on. It's a great film. Very, very enjoyable, and it's lost none of its verve, none of its everything about it is still as if it was brand new. It still feels new when you watch it, which is quite. I mean, I haven't seen it for years, and spinning it again, I thought, wow, this is really quite a good film. He's really captured something here.
He might go on to have a career. Tarantino
he might
chap.
actually make one or two more good films, and he did make one, or was it two good other films?
The whole other podcast there, Simon.
Absolutely, a whole other podcast. But I do want to talk about the picture here, because when I spun this disc, I thought, wow, this is incredibly looking. This is amazing. It's beautifully detailed. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of he uses a lot of close-ups, so there's a lot of good facial texture, pores, hairs, sweat, particularly little sweat and little blood spots on them. Fabulous, really good. The warehouse scenes, it's all grubby, dirty paint peeling, and you can see everything perfectly. And I'm looking at this going, it's too clean. It's too clean. This has been DNR to hell. Surely it must have been. So I dug out my old disc. I popped in the Blu-ray just to double check one against the other. Now there wasn't, believe it or not, I don't know when you last saw Reservoir Dogs on Blu-ray. There's not a massive amount of film grain on it. So that initially surprised me, but when you look a bit closer, it is a bit of a grubby film. It was made on a budget, so, and it is a bit grubby. There's various filmic defects on it which are inherent to the print, and that's what makes this Blu-ray pretty good. It's softy, the colors aren't brilliant, it's okay. The 4K is unbelievable. So I mean, this is my eyes. Okay, I'm looking at this thinking this thing has gone through the ringer. It's a brand new scan done by Lionsgate. It looks too good. This has had a good notch of DNR on it. I'm absolutely positive it's had a good notch of DNR on it, because it is as clean as a whistle. Now that in itself isn't a bad thing. A good-looking film is a good-looking film, and I think it looks great. It also, I also think they give it a little bit of tweak of edge as well. I think they've tweaked the sharpness on it. Now there's no edge enhancement anywhere. You can't see haloing. There's nothing like that, but it just looks too clean to me. Too clean for a film that's 30 years old. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I get you. It's a grim and gritty and grimy movie, and you kind of want it to look that way. Yeah.
But it's not. This is the dichotomy of the thing. It doesn't look terrible. It looks amazing, but it shouldn't look. It looks slightly artificial, and that to me just pushes it a bit too far that way. Whereas it should be a little bit this way.
Interesting.
So anyway, True HD 5.1 surround track. That's great. I think it was DTS on this one, wasn't it? DTS, I can't remember what it was on this one. DTS ES on this one, so it's an upgrade on that, and it's fabulous. It's nice, good layering, dialogue's fabulous, nice bit of separation. The music sounds fantastic. No extras at all on the 4K. It's all on the Blu-ray, which I haven't seen because they didn't send that. But I think it's going to be a controversial release, this one. I'd be interesting to know what other people think of it once it goes live, whether or not I'm being too finicky, too pickety.
Good grief. Is it the new T2?
It can't be that bad.
No. There's loads and loads of detail here. Loads of detail. There's no waxy. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that at all.
Colour me intrigued, Mr. Crust.
Neato. it coincides quite nicely with, I don't know if you guys have seen the release of Quentin Tarantino's book on film. I'm going to put this in air quotation marks, film criticism. It's basically 300 or 400 pages of what Quentin Tarantino reckons. And I'm not going to say that I've read it, but I have read some really interesting extracts from it, which include Tarantino's opinion that Sam Peckinpah is not really as good of a filmmaker as Eli Roth.
Oh, God, there's a big word for that, isn't there?
Say what?
There are some hot takes in there, let me tell you. So I'm looking forward to diving into that a bit more, just to have a root around inside Quentin Tarantino's brain, as depraved and
that's interesting, because on the latest episode of Quentin Tarantino's podcast, he has Eli Roth on it, and they talk about how American Giallos.
Oh well, like Eli Roth's his
BFF.
Yeah, well, his apprentice, pretty much, isn't he? He brought him up. So there's a
a relationship.
Yeah, a rose-tinted relationship, yes. Maybe.
I don't mind Roth, but yeah. Roth versus Peckinpah. I think that's an interesting one. Anyway,
that's right. Hostel is one of the greats. Yeah.